this is a subject that I know is near and dear to you because I pick up what you put down during your broadcasts. I have a 4-point plan to improve NBA replay, Jeff Van Gundy, and I want to.
Oh, I can't. I'm for it. I already know I'm for it. Go ahead.
Okay,
I got a 1-point plan, Rich. Let me go.
Don't
first.
say get rid of it. Don't say get rid of it. You can't get rid of it.
Unless it's the last shot of the game, and the 3-point line or 2-point shot that we can do on the fly.
Okay.
That's my 1-point plan. Go with your 4-point
Okay,
plan.
here's my 4-point plan because, I'm an NFL replay expert. I really feel I should be on the competition committee, and I will use whatever juice I may have in any way, shape, or form or pulp with Roger Goodell to one day be enshrined, if you will, on that competition committee. But I've got 4 points here. Okay, Jeff? My first one, there's a rule change. If you can be awarded the ball in replay, you can refuse the replay. In other words, what happened with the Clippers in the Valley Oop, where the ball was off of Los Angeles and they stopped the game to see if Los Angeles could get the ball. In the interim, Monty Williams was able to huddle up and walk everyone through the Valley Oop paces. The Clippers could have said, screw that. We don't want the replay. Get the Phoenix Suns on the floor right now. They can't huddle up. What do you think of that?
Well,
you can decline the replay.
It's a good thought. My plan supersedes your plan, though.
Well,
right?
Look, your plan would supersede all.
Eliminated that anyway.
All right. So,
here's my better part of that, though.
Yes.
In addendum, you wouldn't even need your first point if you had the Maxwell Smart cone of silence drop down where the 5 players in the game have to go at the free throw line and come under the cone of silence at both ends.
Okay, where they're not allowed to huddle up.
Would be great sponsorship. We could make some cash, and we could take away the really illogical extra timeouts that are being afforded to teams.
Right.
So I have a better plan on your point 1. Point 2.
Okay, point two is part of the delay that took forever in that post-Valley Oop play was figuring out who the 5 on the floor need to be put back out there to make sure it's the same 5 that was on the floor for the Valley Oop. Let's remove Scott Foster and the rest of his crew from having to adjudicate that. It's on the coach to put the right 5 on the floor. That we're going to go back out there right away, and if you don't put the right 5 on the floor, it's a technical foul on you. We're not going to take any more time up on that sort of nonsense.
You really want to end a great game on a technical foul because a coach was harried and the wrong guy was on the floor?
Well, I mean, don't be harried. You got to have a get-back coach. Why don't you have somebody who understands who's on the floor?
Point 2, delete.
Okay. Point 3, Jeff Van Gundy. Point 3, give coaches a replay challenge for the first half. People are not challenging what should be replayed in the first half because they want to keep one in their back pocket for the second half.
So you'd have two challenges, one
yes,
in each
sir.
half?
Correct.
Okay, I like that, but as an add-on to that, if you get it right, you keep it, and you can, so if I get one right in the first half, I can use another in the first half. You shouldn't be punished for being right.
Okay, I like it. That's a nice little workshop right there, Jeff Van Gundy. Sort of like the NFL. If you get the first 2 right, you get a third. If you get one of them wrong, right. Sorry. Okay, and here's the last one for you, and I think this one you will wholeheartedly agree. No more stopping games to look at whether something's a flagrant foul or not. No more of that. It's either what you see on the floor, that's it. End of story. It's flagrant or not based on first blush. We're not stopping as a Zapruder film this thing to see if the wind up or take a look at intent anymore. I don't want to do that. Your thoughts?
I'd rather accept my whole thing is all of this is decision making. We're trying to make an imperfect process of officiating perfect, and it leads to unwieldy delays at times.
Correct.
And so everything from out of bounds calls, and we're afraid they're going to get it wrong particularly in the last 2 minutes. My whole thing is, well, we should be worried about the whole 48 minutes. And yet we all know that if you have all this replay through 48 minutes, it'd be just too long, right?
Correct.
The flagrant issue, though, I think if the officials didn't use it as a bailout as much, they would actually trust their eyes and not worry about getting reprimanded by the powers to be, and if the powers to be were more empathetic to how hard it is to officiate a game and didn't try to minutely second-guess these guys, then we wouldn't have as many delays. So I don't – if they didn't just bail out to go over there, I wouldn't have a problem if they – man, was that wind up as hard as I think, or did the guy flop? I don't mind that. The sticking the leg under the shooter, which they got Brooke Lopez for last night,
yep.
I don't even mind that. But again, once you open that Pandora's box, it's to me, it's too much of a bailout to always go over there. So I think the referees should only have, like, where they can challenge themselves like once or twice a half. Like, hey, you're paid to see it.
Right.
Don't give me the bailout. You're paid to see it. You get to go over there once in the first half and once in the second half, just like the teams are able to challenge. So challenge yourself. Hit that green button over there for yourself.
Right. That one I don't think that's going to fly. But to me, it's just, again, so we're trying to see, let's go under it's a foul. We know it is. But is it a common foul or a flagrant foul? What type of flagrant foul it is? And fans are sitting at home going, let's play. Like, you called it a foul, and the number of times that then you and Mark Jackson start arguing on what used to be a common foul and not, it just sounds like a waste of your time and a waste of everybody's time when, first blush, I call it a flagrant. Too bad. Like, how often is a replay going to show it wasn't flagrant when it really is something that's interpretive, as opposed to, connecting on a follow-through by hitting someone in the face? Like Patrick Beverley, the wind-up that he had a wind-up to get up to DeAndre Ayton's apex to block most of the ball and then follow through and hit him in the face. You know what I mean? Like, why stop the game for that?
On that one, it actually got ruled not a flagrant foul, right? And so where I thought was flagrant, the officials came back and said wasn't. And actually, I applaud them because, again, too often I think right now, the officials are under great scrutiny.
No question.
Everything is micromanaged too much, which by their bosses, which takes away feel. And I know officials now in probably every league, but in basketball, they're not encouraged to have a feel for the game, which I think is so very important. Knowledge of the game and feel for the game, to me, gives you the ability to know that a certain guy is always flopping, or, I gotta keep an eye on because, history tells me he's an instigator. When you see guys walk up on the guys and bump them in the back and then a guy react and you tee up the second guy. So I think this micromanaging has them on pins and needles as far as, if I miss that flagrant foul, owners and teams are going to go to my bosses, and my bosses are then going to come down on me, and then I may get downgraded and not, have another playoff game, which costs me money. So I think the whole, paranoia of trying to be perfect has actually hurt the ability and instincts of our officials at times. And so I'm all for never going over there. But if you are to go over there, I don't mind going over there on a flagrant foul. But I would just rather, I know replay is here, but replay was meant in the NBA when it initially came in for last shots and really these high leverage situations. And I just think we've gotten, like all leagues, we've just gotten carried away.
Okay, so just to recap, replay for flagrant or not is fine as long as the refs limit themselves.
Yes.
You think there should be correct challenges get another challenge in each half. Yes. We are dispatching with coaches are responsible for putting the right people on the floor.
Number 2 is out.
Okay, and then number 1 is just get
cone of silence instead of your
right, and just hope that Nike doesn't come up with a shoe phone to call to call the coach from the cone of silence.
If they come up with the shoe phone,
yes,
it should be allowed.
Okay. Yeah, let's not stop technology. I agree with you. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.